From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Fairbanks City officials will meet with the media tomorrow to talk about the 1997 murder of 15-year-old John Hartman and the 4 men who served 18 years in prison for his death before they were freed last week.
Fairbanks City Mayor John Eberhardt said he feels it's important to provide the public with the actions the city of Fairbanks intends to take moving forward to help the community heal and ensure that they have the best practice procedures in place. The mayor said that Police Chief Randall Aragon also has additional thoughts and clarification he wishes to share.
Joel Joseph, who has been charged with first-degree murder in connection with the shooting death of John Kaverlik Jr., appeared this afternoon for arraignment in Fairbanks Superior Court. Kaverlik was shot and killed last May following an altercation at a local nightclub. Joseph was arrested in Texas in late October and extradited back to Fairbanks to stand trial, where today he entered a plea of not guilty before Superior Court Judge Bethany Harbison. Charging documents allege that a 9mm handgun belonging to Joseph's brother, David Joseph of Anchorage, was recovered in a lake behind the Wedgwood Resort in Fairbanks. Ballistic tests confirmed a chambered round in the recovered gun matched the rounds used to shoot Kaverlik. Now, David reported the gun stolen on the day of the shooting. He has been charged with hindering a prosecution. Charging documents also say Joel Joseph can be seen on surveillance video enticing Kaverlik to come out of the Rock and Rodeo bar in a, quote, aggressive fighting stance. Joseph remains housed at the Fairbanks Correctional Facility. His next court appearance is scheduled for February.
Alaska State Troopers are searching for a woman who has been reported missing. On December 19th, troopers received a report that 41-year-old Bambi Cavanis of North Pole had not been heard from or seen since December 13th. Cavanis was last seen in the North Pole area. Her vehicle is a 2002 green Pontiac Grand Am with license plate number GYL418. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is encouraged to contact the Alaska State Troopers at 451-5100.
Miss Cavanis, she's 41 years old. She's about 5'2", 110 pounds. She has brownish hair and hazel eyes. She does have some tattoos on her back and shoulders. Certainly when it comes to an adult, people do have their right to privacy, and they don't have to tell other people where they are. However, it does cause people with concern, and they do want to find their loved ones or their friend. So we do encourage people to let us know when people are unaccounted for.
The Fairbanks Fire Department is reminding people to be mindful of fire hazards at their homes during this holiday season. Assistant Chief Ernie Mesowitz says the likelihood of an accidental fire increases this time of year due to the addition of fire hazards in the household. Mesowitz recommends people refrain from stacking electrical components on one outlet and placing wiring under garage doors and tight spaces. For households using a real tree to celebrate Christmas, the fire department is recommending people water the tree daily to prevent it from drying out. Candles are also fire hazards. Mesowitz adds that people lighting candles should never leave them burning unattended.
Keep in mind that we still have safety concerns no matter what kind of decorations we have. We want to take that extra step to be safe. And so even with an artificial Christmas tree, making sure that we have the proper lights on the tree, that they're made for indoors, that they're made for the Christmas tree, because some of our Christmas lights get pretty hot.
When we come back in our weekly health report, Monty Bowen warns us about being careful with holiday preparations.
Also, to nobody's surprise, the Santa Claus house in North Pole is packed with kids every day, and we'll hear what some of their wishes are. Stay with us.
And welcome back. Uzbekistan Airways is among the latest companies planning on touching down in Fairbanks to test out its tourism market. The airliner will fly 3 charter trips between the Golden Heart City and Japan through the end of the year. Each charter will transport around 180 passengers to Fairbanks International Airport, who will sightsee throughout the interior for 3 days. Explore Fairbanks executives say Japan is becoming a large market for winter travel in Alaska. A representative for Inter-Pacific Aviation and Marketing, one of the agencies working with Explore Fairbanks to cement the charter contract, says a summer series of flights is already in the planning stages. Explore Fairbanks President Deb Hickok says flights will be taking off from some of Japan's busiest airports.
On December 26th, we're going to have a new charter service. It's a Russian carrier. Uzbekistan Airways is going to be bringing Japanese visitors to Fairbanks, and there'll be 3 charters with those Japanese guests originating from Osaka, Nagoya, and Narita.
Continuing with the tourism theme, it was a good year for Fairbanks. Now, this was the conclusion of tabulated success released today by Explore Fairbanks in conjunction with the Fairbanks Visitors Bureau. Among the positive activities for the community this year was the hosting of 23 press tours, the celebration of the 15th anniversary of Condor Airlines, and for only the second time in history, the city played host to the Iditarod restart. There was also a record number of visitors to the Morris Thompson Cultural Center, and 2016 looks to be another banner year with large UAF scientific meetings in March and numerous Native conferences are scheduled.
As we sort of fast forward, speaking of Alaska Native community, we'll be hosting Alaska Federations of Natives here in October. And we just got word that the 2018 Alaska Federation of Natives Convention will also be here in Fairbanks. So we're working looking for a very strong meetings year here in Fairbanks.
The Santa Claus house in North Pole was packed full of hopeful children today, waiting to see the big guy. The Santa Claus house gets visited by thousands of children each holiday season, averaging 400 to 500 kids per day. Now, if you plan on taking your little one in to visit Mr. Claus, be prepared for the wait. Visitors are waiting up to 3 hours to see Santa, and he is available until 4 p.m. Christmas Eve. We asked kids waiting in line what they wanted for Christmas.
Really, I just want a jump rope. Steelers jersey.
I want a mermaid tail for Christmas.
That's it?
And an iPod.
A Frozen necklace, Frozen bracelet, Frozen music box, Elsa dress, candy canes, Frozen diary.
Hurried last-minute holiday preparations can lead to mishaps. Monty Bowen has details in this week's health report.
Cooking a holiday meal, hanging decorations, and unwrapping gifts are all fun during the holidays. But fun times can quickly land you a trip to the local emergency room if you're not careful. According to Dr. Tom Waters, emergency room doctors see all types of injuries during the holiday season. Some of the most common are from falls.
We see a lot of slip and falls, both from the ice, but I would encourage people to be very careful when climbing. The holidays is time to decorate and put up lights and things. Whether you're inside or outside, you need to be very careful.
The doctor advises take your time when trying out a new gift like a bike or a skateboard, and always wear a helmet. Also be on the lookout for food cooking on a stove, which can potentially catch fire if left unattended. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building, and by Interior Women's Health, located on 1626 30th Avenue.
I love all this holiday talk, and those kids were so cute.
Yeah, they were.
I want a mermaid tail, too.
Well, I want something frozen.
They're so cute. All right, well, Joe Cook is up next with sports and brings us results from the first dog mushing race of the season.
Also, another Nana Corner and high school hoops action after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with your local Tuesday Sportscast. Winter is here, folks, and that means the dog mushing season is right around the corner. In fact, the first race of the season was on Saturday. The Two Rivers Dog Mushers Association held their annual Solstice 50 sled dog race. Scott Chesney provides some nice video of the 50-mile race. The trail was an out and back from Pleasant Valley store. 28 mushers finished the race. Matt Hall, he won the race in 4 hours, 16 minutes, and 31 seconds with 12 dogs coming across the finish line. Ryan Olson was the runner-up in 4:24.20 with 12 dogs. Emily Intrikin finished in third place with 8 dogs with a time of 4:30.59. Mushing star Allie Zirkle was close behind in fourth place with 12 dogs at 4:31.09. Chris Parker, he rounds out the top 5, coming in 21 seconds later with 12 dogs. Lance Mackey finished 7th overall in 4 hours, 43 minutes, and 37 seconds with 12 dogs as well. In tonight's Nana Corner, we get acquainted with one of the new additions to the women's basketball team. It's not a transfer or a freshman, but their assistant coach. Here's more on Brett Sawyer.
First-year assistant coach Brett Sawyer joins Cody Bench's staff after 4 years at Snow College, a junior college program in Utah. The Utah native can relate to the new players on the team This is his first time on the bench at the NCAA level.
So far, I've been having a blast. I feel like the game's faster too. So as far as catching like a set that somebody's hurting you with in the game is a lot harder for me. But it's a fast pace, really quick, very physical game, and I really enjoyed it.
Sawyer specializes in working with post players. That work is paying off. Jordan Wilson is 4th in the league in scoring with 15.5 points per game to lead Alaska. Before her season-ending injury, Stephanie Thompson ranked 3rd in the conference with 9.4 rebounds per game to go along with 15 points per. Even though it's his first college gig, he's contributing in a lot of ways.
No matter what I say, he gives me some feedback. You know, he's always got a couple different ideas, and that's really important, just to maximize our ideas at this point with what we have and what we're working with. You know, he's always recruiting, he's always investing in looking for our future.
Sawyer models his coaching style after successful football coaches.
I follow kind of the Nick Saban thing. I come in with energy every morning. I think, who can I get better today? Who can I affect their life and make them be better today? And I like to look to Pete Carroll a lot. He's very energetic on the sidelines in football. I try to kind of follow that mold of intense but energetic and enthusiastic.
Coach Bench and Sawyer will be putting their heads together even more. Alaska is 5-8 and 0-3 in the GNAC and have lost 6 straight. Their first game out of the winter break is at home against MSUB on January 2nd.
Nanook Corner, brought to you by Sports Medicine Fairbanks.
And as we mentioned yesterday, Fairbanks Ice Dogs goalie Gavin Nieto committed to Brown University. The Brown University Bears are part of the East Coast Athletic Conference and Division I program. Nieto will look to help the Bears, who went 8-20-3 last season. They are 2-7-3 this year. They advanced to the ECAC Finals back in 2013. They have 2 juniors and 1 sophomore goalie. Nieto is the 4th Ice Dog player to make a D1 commitment this season, joining Todd Burgess, Logan Coombs, and Aaron McFeeters. And now we recap an entertaining opening weekend of Interior High School basketball with Saturday night's games.
We start at North Pole High School. After the Patriots won 60-21 in the girls' game, the boys' game was closer. Taylor DeAngelis, a.k.a. Mullet Power, led the Pats with 17 points, but Hutchinson was down by just 5 in the fourth quarter after a Thomas Bedford bucket. But North Pole would answer with the 3 and make their free throws down the stretch, and they win their first game, 64-52 over the Hawks. In Boydloo Hall, the Eielson Ravens and Monroe Rams met for their Aurora Conference openers. The Monroe boys were all over the Ravens. They led 23-2 in the first quarter. Eielson tried to battle back, but too much Monroe in this one. Gavin Jackson scored a game-high 15 points to lead 3 other Rams in double figures in a 68-35 victory. In the girls' game, the Eielson Ravens had the upper hand as they led 24-21 at halftime. Lexi Smith was a force with 11 of her game-high 17 points in the first half. But Monroe's a scrappy bunch. They tightened up their D, and Maya Hadukovic got hot, scoring 8 of her 16 in the fourth quarter, and the Rams come back to win 49-39. Both Rams teams are now 2-0.
Everyone's taking good shots and everyone's getting those rebounds, so it's just easy to take shots when you know your teammates have your back. We're ready to show everyone the new team, the new Monroe, with the new coaches and just new intensity and teamwork.
Over at Lathrop, the girls handled business with a 61-5 win over Delta, but the boys team did not. They led by 8 with over a minute left, but Delta came back, and Gene Gonzalez was fouled at the buzzer with the Huskies trailing 59-57. He hit 2 of 3 to force overtime. In OT, after a Jeremiah Handy bucket for Lathrop, Gonzalez answered with the go-ahead and 1. Delta will hold on to shock Lathrop 67-65 in overtime to cap an exciting weekend of basketball.
And that's a wrap for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about the weather, and today it was kind of sloppy around the interior. Just kind of gray and snow flurries all day long, no real accumulation, but just enough to make it definitely look like winter, that's for sure, heading in toward the Christmas holiday. And we're looking at the cold temperatures still on tap, but maybe not as bad as we were talking about yesterday. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Beautiful photograph, and this one's sent in by Mark Brazeau. He was in a helicopter, I believe, as you get this photograph, the fireworks going off Saturday night at the winter solstice. Is again, beautiful shot there. Colors are just gorgeous, beautiful blues. And of course, you can see all the parking lots around the area. And as always, if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. And of course, the Christmas photos are definitely what we're looking for. Today's high, 1 degree above. The low last night, 5 below. The record high, 45. That was in 1999. Record low, 51 below in 1961. Sunrise and sunset, well, that works out to 3 hours and 42 minutes, a gain of 4 seconds from yesterday. Hey, that's a start, right? Our satellite and radar is showing the flow is moving a little bit different now. You can see a little more west to east flow moving across the state. Still, the cold air is expected to come down from the north and work its way out to scour all the clouds out. But the good thing is, if all these clouds hang in here, it'll keep the temperatures from getting really, really cold because all the warmth will be trapped between the cloud deck and the surface. But if the clouds move out, then all bets are off and the cold air will be moving in. Right now, it looks like a pretty good chance that the clouds are going to hang in there, so it may not be nearly as cold as we were expecting. That's good. What's going on across the rest of the state? Over southeast Alaska, a little rain around Juneau, rain and snow, and Ketchikan at exactly freezing, 32 degrees. Partly cloudy skies at Anchorage, another chilly day there, 13 degrees. Kodiak, 33, partly cloudy skies, and cloudy skies around the Cold Bay area. 25. Up and down the west coast, the cold air is moving into Nome, 6 degrees below zero for their high, 19 below at Barrow, and Fort Yukon at 4 degrees below zero. Lower 48 weather, well, we have quite a bit to talk about. First of all, over the eastern half of the country, we were looking at this frontal boundary last night. This thing is really kicking up its heels and bringing a lot of wild weather with it, some very heavy thunderstorm activity, possibly even some tornadoes, isolated tornadoes. And then the cold air is moving across a large portion of the country. As this cold air moves out on the plains, it's going to once again become a very powerful feature there, bringing possibly more severe thunderstorm activity, and of course more moisture moving across the western half of the lower 48. Now, severe storms are possible tonight and through Wednesday night. Torrential downpours, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes. And that's something you don't want to see around Christmas time, but it is taking place right now. Again, the jet stream is the guiding factor, taking a big drop down to the south, pulling all that cold air in behind it. So the cold air is expected to bring a lot of snow to many areas of the western half of the country, with just the opposite. Unseasonably warm temperatures will continue across the eastern half and the northeast. Our weather fact for today, speaking of temperatures, is pretty interesting. In 1989, Cut Bank, Montana, the temperature there rose 74 degrees from 34 below zero to 40 above by afternoon. An incredible amount of temperature difference there. And again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. And like I said before, the kids are off for vacation until they return the 5th of January, when we'll be welcoming the kids from Salsha Elementary School. Here's your forecast for all of Alaska for tomorrow for the northern sections. Cloudy skies in Barrow, mostly sunny skies for Nome, and cloudy skies with flurries in Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at a chance of snow at Healy and Fairbanks, and flurries are likely at Delta Junction, but no real accumulation expected. Over southeast Alaska, mixed showers for Juneau and cloudy skies for Ketchikan, while over to the southwest part of the state, looking at partly cloudy skies in Bethel, rain and snow for Cold Bay, and mostly sunny skies at Kodiak. And down around the south central sections, partly cloudy skies across the region with some morning snow showers possible in Valdez. And our forecast for the remainder of the night, these pesky snow flurries are going to hang around with an overnight low about 7 degrees below zero. Tomorrow's forecast calling for 5 below for the high with a chance of a little light snow. And the forecast for the 5-day period, as you can see, Thursday night, looking at 19 below for the daytime high on Thursday, I should say, 28 below by the time Santa arrives. And then on Christmas Day, temperatures slowly start to warm back up again. In fact, you can see we're looking at positive figures, possibly by next Monday or Tuesday. Overnight lows only 10 degrees below zero, so it's a little bit warmer than we were hoping for, or they were looking at. I'm hoping for warmer temperatures anyway.
You know, but we are fortunate. We do have to say that normally this time of year it's quite colder than what it is
Can be,
now.
sure.
So
Yep.
I am okay with braving it for a little while.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, not too terrible for a forecast, because it's not that extremely cold and it's only going to be here a little bit. So
Exactly.
very
Yeah.
good.
I'm always cold.
Yep.
That is true.
Grow the hair out a little more.
And boys and girls, Santa has a thermal wrap around him, so he's okay. He'll be nice and warm by the
Boys
time
and
he
girls,
takes off.
Santa's magic. You don't have to
That's
worry
right,
about him. Just
exactly.
need some extra
He
cookies.
has a special
and he'll be fine.
invisible shield around him that protects him.
He's
from the
magic. I thought he was real.
He is. He's magic.
He
We
has
need to
magic.
talk.
Anyways, let's get out of this.
All right.
Let's
That'll
get
wrap
out of
up this
this
edition
talk.
of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
And tonight on NBC Nightly News, a little girl's cancer miracle could pave the way for more in the future. That's up next with Lester Holt.
J.R. Lewis will be here tomorrow morning with more news updates during the Today Show as well.
All right. From all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a good night.
Good night.
Santa's real.